We touched on the all-important clients earlier with Anna's presentation. I'd now like to welcome on stage Matt Stockbridge, who's from the analytics team at Mondelez International. Matt.
Right, I shall be working from my notes and making stuff up as I go along based on the stuff you've seen so far. It's Mondelez, who I work for, who are the horrible American people that bought Cadbury's, who I was at originally. And I'm an analytics manager, so I spent my life, I spent the last 25, 30 years working with statistics and numbers and stuff, so I tend not to use any of them really because most of them are kind of wrong, or a percentage anyway. So, as my friend Steve has pointed out, we've gone from 1 month of 18%, another month 22%. That's linear apparently, so if it's 21 next month, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Anyway, we'll wait for a few more points on that. So, are we as Mondelez, Cadbury's worried about ad blocking? I think this has already been touched on. No, not really. We're fortunate in that we're creating great content people want to see, and if they don't look at it, it's passed on to someone else. Someone eventually will see it, ideally not a robot, but somebody, a person, a chocolate-loving individual. Are we worried about it in the future? We're trying to create content, creative, I'm sure you all are as well, that people actually want to interact and look at. And so hopefully if something does pop up unexpectedly, they might want to actually look at it. And after all, most of the time we're talking about chocolate. How difficult can it be? What will it look like in 5 years' time? Probably the same as it is today. We probably won't have conferences talking about it so much. Probably what we will be worrying about is the new Google Glasses, of which I have a prototype here, which will allow me to block content on all forms of media and people and pretty much my life, and will control what I see and do. That's kind of the bigger issue than ad blocking. It's just something to think about. What's the solution? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Unless, of course, you sell banner advertising or run an illegal online pharmacy, in which case you might have to rethink your business model. The bigger issue, and this has been touched on as well, is about the audience, okay? How concerned are we as Mondelez about reaching the people that tend to block ads, which I think is young men that are into gaming and social media? Reasonably, there's lots of other people in the world that we want to reach. However, if our audience that we need to reach becomes that audience, then obviously we will need to look at it. But there's lots of other people, there's lots of ways of communicating with them. What we tend to do is to engage a lot of our digital new media spend with the big platforms, obvious, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and so on. And so we kind of hope that they're going to serve the content. So to Anna's point, yeah, we are relying a little bit on the platforms or agencies to make sure that the content is going where it needs to be. So I guess it might not be a very popular view. We probably even welcome a bit of ad blocking. If the content we're creating then rises up to the surface and all that horrible stuff stays lower, so we get a bigger share of voice, face, or online gamers, then fantastic. If it stops me getting requests to play Candy Crush Saga, the opportunity to buy a Bluetooth Swagway from £294.99 reduced by £59.95. So originally was priced £354.94, which I found out the other day. Or government solar panel funding, all the things that have popped up to me today. Personally, given access speeds are reasonably quick, I can usually get by these without too much trouble personally. And to be fair, I mean, I don't know about you, but I actually quite enjoyed those emails from my long-lost relatives in Nigeria requesting that I send my bank deals immediately. I don't really want to see them blocked. In fact, I quite like getting some of the Candy Crush requests just to see how persistent some of my friends are at playing that form of entertainment. So I guess we'll start worrying about ad blocking when we can't watch the TV, we can't look at posters, we can't read newspapers, and we can't listen to the radio. Unless, of course, I'm right about Google Glasses, in which case we are concerned. Thank you.
So fairly relaxed, I guess you'd say, in terms of ad blocking.
Yeah.
From a client perspective, do you I mean, in the analytics side, do you monitor the data yourselves in terms of the way your ad campaigns are going out, and whether it be, you know, ad blocking or any other points of data, or do you rely on your media agencies to kind of circulate that information back?
A bit of both. So we, to the kind of the first point at the moment, You know, we're paying for stuff to be served, and so if it gets blocked, we're trusting to see that the stuff is being served. The interesting difference with us is whereas maybe 2 or 3 years ago we were relying completely on the media agency to provide the information, it's interesting now that sort of those platforms I'm talking about are very keen to share their view of the data as well. So we have an interesting conversation between the media agency and the platform saying about what's actually been served, what we've paid for, what happened with extra. So if anything, I wouldn't say it's monitoring, there's certainly more information available, so we are able to access it. But as I said, you know, we're fortunate. I've been, you know, qualifying everything I've said. I work in FMCG. It's chocolate's mass market, and that channel is just a small part of it. It's big and it's growing, and we're investing more and more in it. But we're trying to do it in platforms and areas where we're pretty sure the message is going to get across to the audience that we want to reach. Thank you. And as you're considering your voting today, I have a bag full of cream eggs, if that helps. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.